Thank you for joining the Goes On Kitchen. Today we'll be making the spicy Cajun rice skillet. Let's get started. We're going to heat our pan up on medium to high heat because we're going to be browning 2 pounds of ground beef. This is not a side dish. It's going to feed quite a few people. I'm using 80/20, but you can use any beef you want. We're going to get this in here and start browning. We're going to break it up with our ground beef chopper. That is actually what this utensil is called. I didn't know that till the making of this video. But we're going to get it all stirred, get it browned, and then we're going to drain off this excess grease. All right, now that we have it drained, let's get it back on the heat and kind of stir it around. Get it a little warmed back up before we start adding the ingredients. Now let's start adding our ingredients. First, we're going to drizzle in our olive oil, just kind of go around and get it in there about as evenly as we can. Then we're going to grab our chopped onion and kind of spread it over the entire skillet. Get a good, even distribution. Probably better than I'm doing right here. Now we're going to take our bell peppers. You can use any bell peppers you want. I just prefer the yellow and red. They're a little sweeter. But feel free to use any one you prefer. Now we're going to add our garlic. You can use the garlic cloves and crush them up, or you can get the pre-minced one. I like the pre-minced because it just saves time, and I'm trying to get this meal in 30 minutes for anyone. We're going to cook this for 4 minutes on the same temperature. We're going to give it a couple quick stirs, and then we're going to start adding our dry ingredients. First, we're going to start with our red pepper flakes. Give it a little kick. Next, we're going to go and grab that smoked paprika. I was pretty disappointed when I realized what paprika really was, but you learn something every day. Now we're going to grab the Cajun seasoning, and that's going to add that depth of flavor we're looking for in this particular recipe. We're going to spread it all around. Don't worry if you get any clumps in there, because we're going to come back and give it some good stirring and get everything mixed up in there. Coat it all around so everything looks equally covered. Now that that's done, we're going to give it a couple taps. That's important to the recipe, is a proper amount of taps. Now let's grab our rice and sprinkle it over the top of the dish, making sure we get it about as covered as we can. Just like so. Then we're going to grab our Rotel. It's a 10-ounce can, and it can be any Rotel you want. I prefer the hot, but any one of the flavors will work. Next on deck is our beef bouillon. I prefer the Better Than Bouillon brand. It's the gel you mix in warm water to kind of break it down. Now we're going to add it to the dish, just kind of pour it around and get a pretty good coverage on it, just like that. Now we're going to stir this whole thing together and get it well mixed. There you go. Everything equally covered. Now we're going to reduce the heat to low, cover it, and let simmer for 20 minutes. All right, it's been 20 minutes. Let's take a look at what we have. It's looking good. Now we're going to take a fork and kind of fluff the dish up. I'm using a metal one. I don't recommend it if your wife is pan sensitive. She saw me doing this. She would not be happy. But we're going to go ahead and make sure there's no clumps and that everything is equally kind of smoothed out in there. And yeah, it is smelling good. I'm really happy with how this is turning out so far. And I think you will be too. All those flavors and aromas just seem to go together perfectly. Okay, once we're done with that, we're going to grab the cheese and we're going to start covering the dish. I use the bag shredded cheese. Again, it's to make the meal simpler, but if you have the time and the want, you want to use the block and a cheese shredder, knock yourself out. We're covering equally over the entire dish to make sure that we get a nice, good melt. And this calls for a cup, but if you want more or less, hey, the world is your oyster. Once we get the cheese all where we want it and the quantity we want, let's cover it up, turn the heat off, and let the cheese melt just with the residual heat that we have in the pan. All right, it's been a couple minutes, and I think we're ready. Let's take a look and see what we have. Look at that. It's a nice looking meal. Yep, 30 minutes or less, and you got a nice hearty meal. What we like to do with our meals is pair them with one of our sauces. So let's scoop this up. Let's try a couple of our sauces, and let's see which one that we like best. Well, number 11 paired best. We hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this.